Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ron Simplified Myers. Today, I wanted to talk to you about this idea of making other people happy. I hear that all the time. People say, well, isn't it my job to make my partner happy or my friend happy? I do everything I can to make them happy. Well, here's the key. It is never your job, never your responsibility to make someone else happy. Now, I know some of you that hear that go, Ron, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I give people gifts and that makes them happy. Well, haven't you also given people gifts and they weren't happy? Haven't you given people certain gifts and then they look at you crazy because it's like that ain't the gift they really wanted? See, the happy part is a decision that's made by the person who is dealing with that particular emotion. See, we're all in control of our own emotions. It doesn't matter what happens, it's how we react to what happens. So therefore, I can do everything possible to make you happy, but you still get to decide on whether you want to be happy or not. You might decide you don't like my haircut for whatever reason, and because of that, you choose not to be happy today. So the bottom line is, it's not my job to do that. I could stress myself out trying to make you happy. I'm too busy trying to figure out how to keep Ron happy. For me to now take on the responsibility of trying to make you happy, that's a job. I ain't looking for no jobs. So here's the key. Take responsibility, which everybody, you guys know, you hear me talk all the time. Take responsibility for your own emotions. Quit looking for someone else to do it for you. For those of you who still determined that you're going to change someone else's emotions, understand you're going to live a very stressful life. And here's why you don't want to do it. Because in order to make other people happy, sometimes it may mean you have to do things that make you unhappy. So how much sense does that make? You have to make yourself unhappy in order to make other people happy. That doesn't make any sense. I know. I'm going to hear it. But Ron, it ain't about you. Yes, it is. Because the reality is, I can never give the best me to you if I'm not the best me. Think about that. If I'm not happy, if I'm not feeling fulfilled, how can I give the best Ron to you? Does that make sense? It's not possible for me to give you the best Ron if I don't feel up to being the best me. That's why I tell people, now don't get that wrong. Sometimes you're depressed, you're sad. Others may share things with you that may uplift you a little bit, but ultimately you're going to have to make that decision to change your emotions. And the way that you do that is change the stories that you're writing at this present moment. In other words, I always tell people it's real simple. If you're sad, it's because you're writing a sad story. If you're depressed, it's because you're writing a depressed story. If you're happy, it's because you're writing happy stories. Your mind can't do both. It can't be happy and sad at the same time. So Tony Robbins takes people through that sometimes where he shows them how to change their story. But here's the bottom line. Just what he said, change the story. If you're sitting there thinking about something and you're looking at it from the negative perspective, you're supposed to feel bad. But if you look at the situation and figure out how you can turn it into a positive, how you can move forward in that particular situation, you start to feel better. Now, understand that. That doesn't mean you can go from depression to excitement just because you change the story. Because for a lot of you, that may be a big jump. So what you might have to do is go from being depressed to just being mad right now. And then go from being mad to a little bit angry. And you see what I'm saying? You just start to feel a little bit better until eventually you feel good. But ultimately, and that's what I want people to understand, being happy is a personal choice. No one else can ever or should they ever want to spend the time trying to figure out how to do that for you. Because think of what I just said. They have to try to figure out what's going to make you happy. Can you imagine that, sitting there going, I wonder what would make them happy right now. I don't know, because I don't know why they sad. So I'm going to figure out how to make them happy. And again, it's too much work. Not only that, from the other person's perspective, the reason you don't want people to ever be the reason to make you happy is because the more you depend on others in order to drive you emotionally, then the more you become a victim. And the reason I say that is because if I can only be happy if Terry makes me happy, and that's my wife for those of you who don't know that, but if I spend my life waiting on her to make me happy, she may not feel like it today. So what I'm going to do? Be depressed the rest of the day because she decided she ain't ready to make me happy today? And not only that, It's back to, like I said before, how much pressure does that put on her where every day she's thinking, man, what I got to do today to keep Ron happy? Bottom line, I hope that's clear. I don't want to keep beating it, as they say, beating a dead horse. I don't know why we're beating horses and killing birds, two birds with one stone, all that kind of stuff. I don't know why we're doing all that. But bottom line is, I hope the point got across that I don't have to continue to drive that home. Because the bottom line is, you decide your emotions, but waiting for others to do it for you. Take responsibility for your emotions, which bottom line means take responsibility for your life. When you start to take responsibility for your emotions in your life, you will see that everything that you want out of life will start to come towards you. Why? Because you're now taking responsibility for your life. I will always close with, it ain't right, it ain't wrong, but it's definitely my decision. I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.